What's up, guys? Today we're going to write our first C++ code. And so we're going to do that by opening up the Visual Studio Code we downloaded last time. So here's the welcome page. We can click on New File here, or we can go to File, New File, either one. First thing we need to do is, since we're writing in C++, we need to change our text to C++. And I think this is just a heads up because I'm not sure if it does it now or later when we actually start, saving the file and compiling. But it's probably gonna say it says C++, yada yada yada, download right here, somewhere in here, and you need to do that for compilation. I think because I already had the software before, it was already down. It's already downloaded. But if you see that, just be wary at any point in writing the program to download it. But the first thing we're gonna do, the first line of code we need to write, is include IOStream. And what this includes is the input-output library, IOStream. And there are libraries for many different things. There's libraries for math functions, just about anything you can name. And these make it, these are very, very useful later on, So instead of writing all this code from scratch, people that have used C++ for many years have written many useful libraries. But the next line is using namespace std, using the standard namespace. And you also may see, like, if you're looking at people's code, people may do something like this. These two things mean the same thing, but for this one you just have to write it once. This one you have to write it every single time you use the standard namespace. So for right now, I just use using namespace std. And so next we're going to write our main argument, int main. This is where everything comes to be executed. They have in C++, which we'll learn later on, these things called functions that you'll write outside and then call them inside of main to be executed. This right here is what where the terminal, where the compiler will go to execute the code. And so what we're writing here is cout, which is something defined in the library and standard namespace to output stuff to the terminal. And so we will be writing a hello world program. This is fundamental stuff for C++. This is probably your first assignment in your 101 college computer science class. And so what we need to do is cout hello world end line. What end line here isn't necessary, but it's good practice. This, after this line, we'll go to the next line. If this wasn't here and we wanted to print something else, they'd be on the same line. But that's just depending on the specific cases. And then every line in C++, you see we have ends in a semicolon. And after this, we'll be writing our last line of code. We'll just need return 0, since this argument needs an integer, int. That's why we'll return 0. And this is it for the code. What we need to do now is we need to save it. And we need to save it. We'll save it as first code.cpp. It can be named anything, but it has to end in .cpp. And let's see. Come on. All right, here we go. And this is probably where it'll download it'll say download if it hasn't already. But yeah, now we're gonna compile it in the terminal right here. And the things, we only need to know just a few commands in the terminal to compile this. The first one is ls, which just gives you everything in your current directory. Right now, we are in users jmouton, and what this means is we need to go through these different directories to get to our first code to compile it. So right now on our computer, this is everything on my computer, and to get to this is where we are right now. To get to this directory, we need to use the command line, the keyword cd to change the directory, and we'll cd to desktop. If you'll see it right here. You know, if it's not in here, then you won't be able to change the directory to it. But this will be different for each laptop or each computer, whatever you're running it on. But you just need to follow these things. We'll cd desktop, and you see now we're in our desktop, and we can ls again to see what's in our desktop. We're looking for codes for YouTube. There we go. We need to change the directory again to codes for YouTube, and there we are. We're in codes for YouTube now. We'll ls again to see what we need. We need to go to C++. We'll cd to C++. There we go. We'll ls one more time. We'll see. There we go. First code.cpp. And so what we need to do is to compile the code, we'll run this command g++ first code.cpp, and this will compile the code for us. And there we go. It was a successful compilation because it didn't give us any error messages. And the next thing we need to do to get the actual output is we need to go \a. Wait, no, it's .\a. And there we go, hello world. And so if we change this is what I was talking about before. Cout goodbye moon and L. And so what we need to do is Control S to save it, or you can just go down here to save. And then we need to compile again. We need to go g++ first code.cpp, or shortcut you can use is the up arrow, and that'll bring you back to your recently called commands. Run that, see if it compiles again. Yes, we got a successful compilation. And then we can just do and here we go, hello world, goodbye moon. This is all for the first video. Yeah, the next videos will be about variables and working with different types of variables. I hope everybody was able to get to this. Thanks.